What is up, betas? It's Zach, and today we're on the way to push day. And I actually had a video I made yesterday, and it was going to be about growing the volume of your back rather than growing the width of your back, because that's something that I really didn't take into account, is that you shouldn't just be widening your back, but you should definitely be growing the actual volume of it as well. So with that being said, hopefully I'll get to a video like that, but a push day is a lot more fun, and I'll show you all the pre that I'm taking and everything before the gym. But yeah, it's gonna be a pretty exquisite workout today, I'm not gonna lie. We're gonna spam some triceps, and we're gonna feel the pain. And what else? I think that's about all, boys. This workout is about to be insane, and I'm excited. And I got the wife beater, the black wife beater on, increases test by approximately anywhere from 1 to 400. Just depends if you're a hyper responder to the wife beater or not. But with all that being said, let's get into it. All right, betas. I was gonna show y'all how I make my pre-workout for the bulking pre, because, you know, really you should be putting carbs in your pre, but I completely was spilling it, and my Karbolyn, even though I drink my water down to right here, that scoop is big, so be careful when you're adding Karbolyn. But with all that being said, we've got it in here. Today we're going glycerol panda sauce. So 2 scoops of this is going to be 400 mgs of caffeine, 16 grams of glycerol. So ooh, that's spicy. Ugh. Mandatory water. When you're having glycerol, you gotta have your water. All right, let's go get an insane pump, guys. What is up, Cuckingtons? We're officially getting into our push day, and we've got some freaking dumbbell incline, starting with a super light warm-up today. And I would definitely recommend going really light when you start dumbbell incline. And I actually got that advice from a guy that does a lot more than me on dumbbell incline. So if you don't want to listen to my pathetic advice, then listen to the big guy that told me that advice. So starting off with this weight and just doing enough reps to get a full warm up in. And guys, just ignore what my face looks like on these reps. It doesn't matter what you look like whenever you're training, as long as you're doing it with a high level of intensity. And I always bring my elbows in on these. I think I might have mentioned that in another video, but also notice how I'm pushing up and out towards the top of my head rather than like towards my stomach. That is a W method, and you're gonna get a way better squeeze that way. All right, now we're getting into heavyweight territory. So this isn't super heavy, but considering that my last chest day, I was doing Smith incline with 2 plates on it is what I went up to, and I did that for like 6 reps. And I absolutely fried my chest on my last chest day. So today I wanted to really make sure I wasn't going to injure myself, especially considering that I haven't been taking a sufficient amount of rest days. And guys, I don't think that rest days are as important as people say, but I do still think they're very important and they need to be taken, and they should be taken seriously. But with that being said, I kind of don't follow that rule always. And it's really just because I love to train. But at this point, I know my body very well, so I can do it more intuitively at this point. And right here, when we hit this side bicep, you can't see my vascularity there anymore, which is kind of sad. But you got to do what you got to do on the bulk. And at the end of the day, I always have the confidence for it to end up paying off in the cut. So I don't like to bulk, honestly. Like, I don't love it, especially because I don't mind having just a few meals per day. Like, I don't like to get to a high consumption of meals. It kind of makes me not always feel the best. And I think that's part of why people say lean is law, because there's actually a good philosophy behind that, not just getting attractive women and whatnot. Although having a six-pack definitely does help. So with that being said, last set of that, guys, the CBum was fully kicking in at this point. So honestly, this machine I'm getting pretty accustomed to, and it feels good every time I hit it. I used to honestly not like this machine as much, but I swear this is one that is a little bit underrated, and the more I use it, the more my chest actually does end up growing with size. Now we're on to 2 plates betas, and on this machine, 2 plates is super light. There's honestly days where if I really wanted to go up to like 4 reps on this shit, I could probably do like 4 plates on each side if I had, full recovery and all of that good stuff. So doing this didn't really feel like much. And yesterday we actually did a little bit of skateboarding, which was kind of random, but it helped up our cardio a little bit, which I think is part of why I feel like I was looking so lean today, which was pretty sick, actually. My triceps also from this angle on this are pretty crazy. Bear with me on these cables because I know right now it just looks like I'm doing a press, and that was basically just to warm up on these. So I know it basically is not giving me the most massive outer chest squeeze, but in these next sets, I am going to do the one where it looks more like how Togi does the cables, if that makes sense, where it's like an outer fly. Looks like a freaking eagle flopping its wings or some shit. Guys, the wife beater was increasing my test an insane amount at this point. And I know what y'all want to say, guys. Y'all want to say, scientifically, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. And, also, I'm looking at my form right now, and maybe this is not the best example, but regardless of that, I was getting a good pump, and I got a chest vein, and I feel like that's a pretty good indicator that I was at least working hard. So I'm happy about that. But yeah, when it comes to, building muscle on the bulk, I feel like you really got to emphasize just getting in the good meals that you would normally get, but just getting more of them, and also getting more carbs, Whenever I've been doing too high fats, it's not the worst thing. You know, still animal fat can still be beneficial, but at the end of the day, clean carbs are going to replenish that glycogen store and help you grow. So also, sorry, this tricep overhead extension is elite. I wish every gym had one of these, and I wish everybody could experience and feel what this machine feels like, because every rep is immaculate, bro. It literally just makes you feel some type of way, bro. And also, when it comes to hitting triceps, if you're not doing these, well, it's 2025, so you need to start hitting these, all right? So one of my buddies actually walked in while I was hitting these, so I had to talk to him for a second and dab him up. It's that guy in the little pink hoodie, but bro is a bodybuilder officially, so congrats to him. If y'all want to go follow his TikTok, I think it's Nathan Buck, so or maybe it's Bruce Buck, but yeah. So thank y'all for watching, guys. This was the whole video. Make sure to build those titties. Make sure to share this video. Subscribe if you're new to this channel. Like the video. You know, tell your friend about how awesome this video was. I love y'all. I'll see y'all later.